What's up, guys? So, real quick, for the past about 2 or 3 weeks, I have been tracking my blood pressure in the morning as well as at night. And um, I have my chart. Here it is here. So, these are the logs that I was writing down for them. And my blood pressure, got some on the back as well. My blood pressure when I was at the hospital before I started this. So I wanted to say that my hospital visit was on the maybe the 18th or the 19th of August. So my doctor ended up telling me to take 2 weeks. He said, watch what you eat, get us some exercise, and day at the top of the day when you wake up, record your blood pressure when you wake up and before you lay down and go to sleep. So I did that for roughly about, well, from the 23rd until the 6th, so 2 days ago. And my blood pressure had dropped quite a bit. So when I was at the hospital, of course, it's different, and it was different situations why your blood pressure may be different at the hospital. They recommend that you sit still, that you relax for about a good 5 minutes, and then take your pressure. Because you moving around doing different things, your readings can be all over the place. It could be up, it could be lower, whatever the case. To try to get a consistent reading, they recommend you just chill out for a little while, then take your reading. When I went to the hospital that day, I was kind of walking the girls around, tending to my babies, because they were with us as well. My wife was there. My mother-in-law, she had an appointment that same day, so we were trying to find a way around the hospital. When we got there, I came in. I think I had to give a sample. I think I had to take off my shoes, my jacket, and all that so that I can weigh in on the scale. To get all that stuff back on, find a room, sat down, and when I sat down, they took my blood pressure. So, of course, most of that stuff is light activity. So it's not really that big of a deal, or it may not be that big of a difference, but to somebody else, it may be. Obviously, I believe for me, it made a decent amount of a difference. My blood pressure reading at the hospital that day was around 150, and I want to say close to like 95 or either 100. So it was alarming, and that's what made him say, you know what? Um, is this normally your pressure? Do you normally take it at home? I said, I got a reader at home, a pressure monitor at home, but I don't utilize it like that. He said, I don't want to go ahead and just submit for you to be on medication right away. He said, your stuff is high. This is alarming. This is usually where we would administer medication. And if it was any higher, we would just have you to come into the hospital and take a look at you. He said he had me to go ahead and take 2 weeks to monitor my pressure, and I sent him all the logs, sent him all the pressures, and everything averaged, I'd say around, I was hitting maybe like 128, 129 over anywhere between 75 and 80 uh, for the most days. It would drop lower, but it was sitting around that for the most part. I had some days where I forgot to take it that morning. I had already eaten, I'd already exercised that day with the girls. So by the time I sat down and took it, it was a little elevated. Some of those were at the round like 135, 138. I think I had one on the, what day was that? One hit 140 on the 3rd, and that was at night. I think I had a huge dinner that night that I wasn't supposed to have. So, for the most part, during this time frame, I was doing just fresh and raw fruits, drinking plenty of water, getting exercise, and that's what was helping it to drop so low. My lowest reading was at 119 over 70. No, I take that back. 110 over 79. That was my lowest reading. I was doing mostly water that day, and I think I had like a green smoothie that I had made. But I was noticing just through my diet, through what I ate, through my sleep. My sleep wasn't the best. I could have gotten better sleep, but just making those simple small changes, I was able to kind of reverse some of those, some of those readings and get much better readings. Now, it isn't just a patch job. We got to stay on this. We got to keep on this. I had eliminated just about all salt. I think it was a few days where I was a little more lax and I had some salt and some sodium and stuff like that. On that was on the third, and it was another day where I had a higher reading. I had eaten on the sixth as well, which was actually my last day of recording. Um, and so implementing this and keeping this going. Um, when I weighed in, I think I was I forgot when I went in for what day I went in, but we weighed in, and since then we had lost a substantial amount of weight. Since then, I gotta double check and see what we weighed in at the hospital and what day that was. But just day by day, making small steps, making small changes. Tonight I had a smoothie, and I think me and my wife made sandwiches, and I had made me like two or three smoothies because I was really hungry, but I really didn't want anything hot. I didn't want anything like cooked for real. So we had the sandwich, and then after I had that, I was just like, yeah, I just want something fresh. So I ended up making a blackberry and peach smoothie, and then I made another one with like apple, watermelon, and banana or something like that. I was just grabbing random fruits that was like on its last leg, chop it up, throw it in my new. I got a brand new blender. Can't wait to do a little video showcasing it. Ninja blender, and that thing is powerful. I've been throwing everything, making a smoothie out of everything, a smoothie and a juice. But it's a lot of days where I just honestly don't feel like anything cooked, processed. No, I just want something fresh. Want something raw, something fresh, something cold. I've been just desiring something cool and cold to eat. And so I've been doing that, taking a little bit of ACV at night on nights that I remember, and a little bit of ACV in the morning. Or I'll take some ginger. I might do that tonight as well. I'll take some ginger, throw it in there, blend it up with maybe about 8 ounces of water or something like that, maybe 16, and strain it, and then I'll drink that before bed. Get some good ginger in the system, and that's good for the gut health, good for the blood pressure, blood sugar. Uh, I think it's good for anti-inflammatory benefits, stuff like that. But for the most part, it was just I didn't want to have any issues. Blood pressure was something that I knew was starting to creep up on me, but I still had the advantage of being able to fight it off. So it's just a matter of maintaining that, keeping that going, staying on this regimen, and not making this some sort of diet. But as I always say in my videos, make this a lifestyle, something that I can easily do and don't have to necessarily get my mind in gear for it. I think a lot of times we mess up on different diets and things like that because we get out of focus. Like we have to focus to get into it, and then something takes us off, and next we're off focus, and we have to try to regather our minds to get back focused in. And I want something that I can easily do and not have to think about. I want something that I can easily implement, and I don't have to like sit alone in a room and focus and get my mind prepared for it. Just like something that I can easily just do and just be on autopilot, you know. And it's helping me. It's benefiting me in the long run. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Um, I've been still following the ADF, but I've kind of condensed it down. I noticed that we kind of plateaued so far as weight loss, and that was my main reason for wanting to do it, so that I can drop actual body weight. I wanted to lower my weight, which would help me in the blood pressure, in the long run and things like that, blood sugars and all that. I wanted to drop my actual body weight. So I think we kind of plateaued right around that 270 marker. So I think I'm going to lower my eating window, and I think I'm gonna change it because I was doing the 36-12s, and I was noticing those was working really good. I noticed that it's slowing down. So it may be basal metabolic rate being affected. So I gotta tweak some things. I'm gonna play around with some of the time frames. I really don't want to do 12-12s because I feel like there's honestly just not enough. I feel like the 36-12s maybe been a little too much for me. Um, all at once, and maybe I should spread it out more and kind of get my body, unused to, because that's like my body just got used to it. Um, and it may be time to start like getting a bit more rigorous with the exercises. I've been mainly just walking. I think my body just got accustomed to the 4, 5, 6 miles that we've been walking, and so we may have to, start switching up the regimen. Instead of me going to the park, which I really like doing, I may start and doing some at-home hit workouts. About as light as I can start it right now. Because I like hit workouts, but I'm big, you know what I mean? So I was just like, I'm not trying to jump around on these joints, all doing all this crazy stuff as a big person. I'm trying to knock off as much weight as I can so that it's as easy on my joints as possible, and it's something that I can actually sustain and keep up doing. With the walking, I haven't even been thinking about. I drop my wife off at work. Um, I get the girls, and then I go to the park and I walk around with them, and we walk around for about a good 4 or 5 miles just about every morning. There's not a lot of days where we come home and just kind of sit at home. For the most part, we tend to be at the park for a great amount of the day, and so just figuring out a way to engage a little bit more with that. I appreciate everybody who's been keeping me accountable, checking in on me. I got a few people who's been commenting on some of the videos, like, "Hey, you still doing it? What's going on?" I do apologize. We haven't really been putting up a lot of videos on it. I did a video, and then for some reason, my microphone didn't catch any of the audio. I had reset all my settings on my computer and recorded like a 20-minute video, and I uploaded it, and somebody commented was just like, "No audio, like I can't hear nothing you saying." And luckily they commented because it would have just been sitting up there. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. So thumbs up on not having to get on any medication. Keep it going, and let's drop that blood pressure a lot lower. Well, a little bit lower, so we can be within a normal range on that. I meet with him again in November for a blood sugar. My blood sugar reading was slightly over the last time we met, so he wanted to meet up again to see if it's lowered, so we can make sure everything is good with that. Um, what else I want to talk about? I think that might be it. Weight loss wise, like I said, we're still sitting at around like 270. Uh, it's usually range and fluctuates anywhere from like 273 to like 270. So we've been sitting around there and just been kind of stuck there. So I want to try to drop that and get below that eventually. Just kind of plateaued. Um, I think that's it so far as the health and everything and fitness. I appreciate you guys so much for rocking with us. Tammy, I appreciate you for rocking with me and keeping me accountable and checking in on me and stuff like that. That is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.